Hi, beautiful souls. Welcome back. This is Kanisha with Peace, Love, and Faith. I am a twin flame ascension coach, but I'm also here to help you become the best version of yourself by healing all of your negative self programming that you picked up from childhood and really aligning to your true authentic self. I am in union with my true twin flame, and my goal on this channel is to share with you how to heal in order to come into harmonious union with your divine lover. And so in my last video, you guys are so sweet, so very kind. I got so many beautiful comments about my glow up or just looking beautiful. And that actually stems from honestly being in union and ultimately the healing that I had done around my divine beauty. And so one of the things that a lot of people believe is that you have to be completely healed in order to come into your union with your twin flame. That is not true. You mostly want to focus on healing your blocks around love in order to come into union with your twin flame. But once you come into union with your true divine lover, that is when the real work will start. And so this means that a lot of my insecurities have come to the surface while coming into union with my twin flame, specifically around my beauty and specifically around my body. And so I've had to do a lot of inner work of going within, looking at those places where I was feeling insecure, looking at those places where I was looking for validation or reassurance from my man, and ultimately having to give that to myself and filling up my inner well by really just pouring into myself, remothering myself, communicating to myself in ways that are positive and loving, and really just validating who I am at my core. Because in truth, your beauty is not an outside thing, it is an inner thing, and your beauty will radiate from the inside out. So it doesn't matter how much you try to do on the outside. Yes, you'll look beautiful. However, your energy will communicate a different thing. And so one of the ways that I have been able to get really clear on how high my energy is, or how just deeply I've cultivated this energy, is based off of what I attract. And so I will attract things that are very pure. For instance, children or pets or like animals that will come either sit in my lap or just sit next to me. And so ironically, one of those days was yesterday when I posted this video, and also Sunday, where I had my own children continuously coming into my room and just wanting to give me love or wanting to be loved by me. And it's because they could feel that peace just radiating out into the room that I was in. The other thing that I've also recognized is other people's children. They will either do one of two things. There's been times where I'm feeling really low and just at a very low vibration, and they'll say like hi, or they'll like somewhat give me a hug, but they won't stay close because they can feel my energy. Children are the closest thing to source, and so they're very, very in tuned and very aware of others people's energy. And so the last few days, I've had children just come sit in my lap and just want to be in my space and they don't want to leave. And so that for me is an indicator that I have really filled myself up and that I'm just radiating love and peace. The other thing is pets. I have a lot of people who are like, my dog doesn't like people, so I'm so sorry, or my cat is very skittish around people. And I've had people's dogs just come sit at my feet and sit there until I leave, or people's cats just come into my lap or just kind of purr and like perch right next to me and just sit there, and they're like, what in the world? Well, that's an indicator for me that my energy is very loving and high vibrational. And so you can really fill into where is your vibration. And in order to come into harmonious union, you have to come into the vibration of harmonious union. And that is really being able to find harmony in all of these places. Now, you don't have to be in harmony in every single place, but it's what you're going to be cultivating coming into union with your twin flame. A lot of people think that twin flame union is just a romantic partnership. It is not. This is not the purpose of it. It's part of it, but it's not the purpose of your union. Your purpose of your union is to raise your vibration and to clear out all the lower vibrational nonsense and gunk that you picked up from childhood, and ultimately becoming the best and authentic version of yourself that's aligned with truth and love. And so when you really start to be aware of your vibration, you'll start to be aware of the things that you attract into your life. And so my twin flame has really helped me in these places where I had really low self-esteem around my just self in general, my body, my looks, and really having to recognize that I didn't need to seek that validation from him. I would get really triggered if he mentioned someone else's beauty. This is something that my gurus Jeff and Shalia have talked about, where there's been a time or two where Jeff is like, yeah, there's a very beautiful woman, doesn't mean I'm going to leak my sexual energy to her, but I can acknowledge that her beauty, which is God's beauty, is beautiful. She is radiating beauty, and that is true. Like, it's okay to acknowledge your brothers and sisters' beauty because it's God's beauty moving through them. But it's not okay to then want to like lust after or try to get their attention because of their beauty. And so this was something that I was recognizing within my twin flame, is that he was acknowledging beauty, and it would trigger me because inwardly I actually had this belief that I wasn't as beautiful as I wanted to be, or wasn't as beautiful as I thought he wanted me to be. And that was a very unloving thought process, and a very out of alignment energy of not really seeing myself the way that God sees me. And so I started healing around this by going within and looking at these places where I had this distorted perception of myself due to society, due to my family, due to things that I was told as a child. I had really low self-esteem upsets as a child because growing up I had really frizzy hair, I had glasses, I had acne, I had really crooked teeth, like all these different things that were occurring that society would pretty much tell you that you are the ugly duckling or the ugly child of some sort. So that's what I experienced as a child. And then growing up in high school, I did not hit my peak of beauty until after high school, and that was very profound for me. But it was just one of those things that I had to genuinely move through, and getting really clear that my beauty wasn't just an outside thing. I've always had a very beautiful heart. I've always been a very kind person. I've always been a very loving and caring person, and that's really part of my beauty there. And so I just had a distorted perception of what true beauty was, and that it's truly an inner work, it's inner job, it's truly who you are at your soul and at your core and your essence that shines through, and people truly see, and not only see it, but they feel it too. And so if this is something that you find yourself moving through, that's completely okay. But one of the things that I really invite you, that I started to do, was just really seeing myself as divine, really seeing myself the way that God sees me, which is perfect and pure and innocent and absolutely beautiful and created in his image. And when I really started to embrace that, not only did I start to receive really beautiful compliments from my twin flame, but I started to be stopped by random people on the street, and they were just like, you're just absolutely stunning. And I'm like, wow, thank you. Another thing was that I wasn't looking for it. There wasn't a part of me that was like, are they going to tell me I'm beautiful? Do they see me? No, I was just kind of in my own like world, and I do a lot of inner talk. So I always am talking, sorry, my nose edges. I'm always talking to my inner child or God pretty much all the time, because I have spent so many years, I'm 32 years old, I've spent so many years hearing such negative thought processes or negative comments that it takes me quite some time to reprogram that, and that's okay. It requires a lot of compassion and a lot of patience. And so as you move through things that come up like this, you got to recognize that being in union with your twin flame is not all sunshine and roses. This is where I said earlier, the work really begins. You will start to have to heal through things that maybe you thought you healed through before. And when you start to have those things come up, you have the opportunity to choose love and to come into union with them in that space, in that particular space, which means whatever they're bringing up for you, you're not currently in union or harmony in that space, and it's coming up so that it can be cleared, so that you can relax into that union and harmony in that space. And so for quite a while, it was around just my self-esteem, about myself. And ironically, that was mirrored back to my twin flame, where he was moving through his own upsets around his body and his own upsets around receiving compliments. And so they're always mirroring you, and it's always perfect. And we really do help each other and encourage each other to look at those places where we believe something and really ask ourselves, what does God believe about us in this space? And do we choose to align with that and see that as our truth? And when we really start to do that, over time, both of us have really started to grown into our divine beauty. My man's a very handsome man, and we both really, as we started our healing journey, we both really started to just embody our true divine beauty. And naturally, we've just become more attractive and attractive over time. And that is something that is said about those who heal, is they start to look younger, they start to reverse aging in their body, they start to reverse disease in their body, they start to really and like come back to like their true authentic divine and natural self, which is healthy and very loving. And you start to see them blossom because they're going from ultimately like this muck or mud, like you would see as a lotus flower, and it starts to bloom. And so one of the things that I highly recommend, if you're not in union with your twin flame yet, is really starting to look at those places where you're not seeing yourself correctly. And that can be around your finances, your divine beauty. It could be around you as a parent, whatever it is. Any places where you feel like you might have some insecurities about how you view yourself or see yourself, as really being called to be healed in that space and really bring love into that space. Once you start to do that, you will start to see just things change. And ultimately, only you can change. When you change in this space, you will see the world reflected back to you differently, and things will change for you in the highest good for you. So ultimately, I really do appreciate all your guys' beautiful comments. It was definitely just a really great confirmation of the healing that I've been doing the last few weeks. And sometimes we are divinely guided to do something different. And at this time, from most of you guys have seen my hair, it's really, really curly, and it has very tight curls. And I have very multi-textured hair because I have so many different backgrounds, that my hair isn't always like, it's not all black, like African American black. It's not all Hispanic and indigenous. Like, there's mixtures of different textures in my hair. And so there gets to a point where there's so much of it that I just want to cut it off. And so I went to God and I was like, God, what do I do with my hair? Like, I want to honor my hair for you, because one of the things that I've learned about hair is the longer the hair, the more in tune you are with your intuition, because your hair is like an antenna. And I've had the short hair before, which I loved, but it really did make me feel more the look itself is more of a masculine look. I'm not saying those who have short hair are masculine, that's not what I'm saying, or look masculine, but for me, it looked and felt more of like a masculine era for me. And so the more that I have the longer hair, I feel more feminine. My masculine loves it too. So I just got it relaxed, and that way it's not so poofy and frizzy, and it's much more easier to maintain. And it did require me to put a lot of love and inner work around it while I got it done. And the woman who did my hair, that's another thing, is that hairstylists, they hold a lot of energy in their hands. And so if they're not in a good space while they're doing your hair, they're putting all of that energy into your hair. So just a side spiritual note there. And so this woman who's been doing my hair since I was a child does love me. She's very kind, very loving towards me, and I always feel very safe and protected in her space. And so God had guided me to go see her, and she took very beautiful care of my hair. I feel very relaxed and very natural in it. And I've even had to do some inner work around it after it was done, because it did trigger me a little bit of bringing up some feelings around looking more like my mother, which my mother is a beautiful person, but I do have some wounds in that area around my mom. So it doesn't matter what you do, you will have inner work to do, y'all. Like, it's really important that you're feeling your feelings and you're moving through whatever it is that's coming up for you. If God's asking you to do something new, or move into something that is going to just bring up healing in general, follow that and know that it's coming up to be cleared in order to just have deeper love and acceptance for yourself. And so with that said, even that coming up, I'm having to just work through feelings around my hair, because there is oil in it and it comes across my face and I start to break out in acne. And so I just had to like move through feelings around that today. So know that this process that you're moving through, it's always a daily process. There are always daily work that you'll have to do. My guru always says, just focus on the work of the day. And as you do that, you'll start to see that you're just going deeper into love with yourself, deeper into self acceptance, deeper into understanding of who you truly are at the core, and that you are divine, perfect, beautiful. You're chosen, you're worthy, you're enough, you're deserving, all of those things. And so when you start to truly embrace who you are at the core, everyone else will see that and they will reflect that back to you. So, 222, as I say that, I love that. But I hope this is helpful. Definitely check out the link below for the free 20-minute intro session that I'm providing. And don't forget to like and subscribe. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for following. And I'm just so grateful to have you all here. Okay. Peace, love, and faith. Bye-bye.